give you 15 seconds to make me laugh. And if I don't laugh, you're in bed by 10 o'clock. If you do laugh, I'm keeping your ass up all night.
All right.
Brock, stop the clock.
I love it. I don't have a watch, but I'll count. I can count to 15. I'm capable of that. I can do that.
Okay, you ready? I have to risk life and limb for this. Hey, move your chair back.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
I think I'm gonna retire with this watch. That was the laugh.
You say go. You say go and you count it. Go.
Seven, 6, 5, 3. By the skin of his teeth, with 1 second left. Game time.
That close.
All you had to do was look at me. You didn't need any of that. Hey, stop. Yeah. All right, take it easy, Brock. That's, yeah. This is 8 seasons right here.
I thought it was a gift.
Hey, do me a favor. Go take a shower.
Seriously, you stink.
Oh, I know.
Jensen, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Tommy Olsen. Well, take it easy, buddy. By the way, I'm keeping you up all night tonight. Tommy Olsen! Good morning. What's happening, everybody? That was interesting. A first for me. I'm not sure what exactly happened right there. I feel like I need to take a shower after. That was. I will say that working on the set of Supernatural is a lot like what just happened. So, for any of you who have ever taken a set visit, I apologize. But that was kind of a glimpse into the life of what it's like. What's happening? I feel like no? Everybody good? Everybody having a good time? Everybody enjoying the weekend? I'm having a great time. I love it. You guys are a killer group this year, and it's great to be here. How was Jason last night? Did you guys see? Yeah, good. That's the kid's got talent. Hey there. What's happening? I'm literally just watching out for Ty. I feel like he's gonna like come out and laugh. All right, so let's get this ball rolling. What you want to start me over here? She's like, I don't want to be the first one. All right, let's start over here. Hi, how are you?
Hi, great. I have the question about Dean because Dean.
I hope so. That's.
Yeah, I have a question.
All I know.
You're interesting too. Dean had many hacks this season with so many characters, with Benny, with Charlie, with Sam, and I was wondering what changed his character that he hacks so much.
Hugs?
Yes.
Hugs.
Hacks. Hacking. Really? It was Dean? He was huggy this year, huh?
Yes. Lots of hugging.
Dean's a lover, you know? He's just a happy guy. No, I do recall the Charlie hug, and I think that was Dean feeling like he found the sister that he never had, kind of thing. All right, that's okay. And I think, I love that episode. I think Felicia Day is a wonderful, wonderful actress, and I hope you all get to meet her one day and see how the light shines inside her, because it really is amazing. But I think that that was kind of why he felt, that he wanted to embrace this person who he wanted to protect, and I think that's how Dean feels about Charlie. He's kind of like a sister to him. Who else was Dean hugging on?
Benny, Castiel.
Well, Sam and Dean are always brother hugging. They're always broing out. I mean, that's, Sam! I mean, that's been happening since season 1. I don't think that's anything new.
I think
Is it what? Who?
more
Garth? Yeah, I think Dean has like, Dean sees Garth as the, I feel like Dean sees Garth as like the special little brother that we never had. And it's become kind of this like supernatural, family within the show with the Charlies and the Garth, and now Garth is like an integral part of the story. I mean, he's attempted to fill the very large shoes that Bobby left. And I think that Dean has embraced that as far as, well, hey, we need somebody to watch our back, and why not this crazy guy? And I think it's more like, I love this crazy guy for Dean. And he's just, I feel like this is his family now, and he wants to protect his family. And so, yeah, maybe that's, and then who else?
Benny.
Who?
Benny.
Well, Benny, okay. I'll keep going. I think with Benny, that was a storyline point that the writers really wanted to show, that there was a brotherly bond between the two of them that was formed by being in purgatory together. And the way that Jeremy kind of described it to me, he was like, imagine it's like brothers in war. It's like two guys that went off to war together that may have come from, two different parts of the earth, but they were now thrust together in this horrible situation, and they were, they were forced to fight. And I think that is kind of the relationship that Benny and Dean had, was this kind of brother in arms kind of thing, this kind of relationship forged out of war. So, that's the best way I can describe it. And I think that was instead of these two men talking about how much the bond that they have and that they forged, they just bro it out with a hug. I do that with my buddies. Like, hey, listen, I'm not going to tell you how much you mean to me. I'm just going to give you a hug. There we go. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. Dean's not much to talk about his feelings a lot. I think that's the most that he can show is, just an embrace.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Hi.
We were wondering, how did you feel on your first convention? Did you feel nervous or motivated by all those people? And which moment did you remember the most?
From my first convention?
No, from all.
From all of the conventions. There's been a few. Well, I believe, and I'm sure you will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that my first convention for Supernatural was in England.
Yeah. Yes.
I was hoping I got that right. And I think the moment that I remember the most was when the person leapt out of the crowd and attached herself to my face. You're gonna remember that, No, but it was a it was a great experience, and I think that that I'm glad that that kind of planted the seed for this to happen, because here we are, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi, I wondered because we all talk about Dean's voice going lower each season. So, how low can you actually go?
Yeah, here's the situation with that. Is, as you could probably tell, my voice has gotten lower since season 1, and that's just maturity, you know. I went from a young man to a man, and I wanted to in the beginning of the show I wanted to play Dean with some grit, you know, and especially you know, talking with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played Dad, who has a very, you know, a very manly voice. I was like, you know what, that's I think I should play Dean after his father and have that kind of gritty kind of a voice. So it was a character choice in the beginning, and then as Jensen's voice started to get lower, I had to keep playing Dean's lower and lower and lower. Yeah, that's I don't think I can get any deeper than that. So yeah, I'm sure at some point Misha and I are going to have to seek medical attention for our that's just the way it goes. Thanks.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. I was wondering if you still have your coat from Tennis and what have you think of it or thought of it?
Do I still have the kilt from Tin and Shiro?
Yes.
No. The hell am I going to do with that? I do have a few of the T-shirts that I wore. I did manage to steal a few of those. But, yeah, no, the kilt. I'm sad to say, I think it was my idea. Well, the costume designer kind of brought a whole bunch of stuff, you know, and I just saw the kilt at the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, okay, this is good. That's awesome. I was like, can we do that? And the costume designer was like, oh, yes, absolutely, let's do that. So, I don't know. I've done that to myself a few times. The gym teacher outfit. Yeah, I don't know why. Now it's Richard's outfit. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I figure if you're gonna go for it, go for it. You know, the Lederhosen, that was, they wanted to put me in like, you know, some kind of version of that. And I'm like, no way, let's get the real thing. Let's order it from wherever they come from, Bavaria. And they did. So they actually ordered it from there and then sent it over, and it was the real authentic, you know, suede thing. I don't think I'm gonna take that one, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where I figure if we're gonna go for it, let's just go for it and do something like that. Yeah, so.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Dean's costumes.
Thanks. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
So, great. And you?
Good.
That's fine. So I was just wondering, after, let's say, Supernatural and someday, let's say in 10 years, maybe.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Over 20.
Can you imagine doing another long-term project with Jared? And what would you like it to be? And if you can imagine you both playing adversaries.
What? We both play in a different series?
No, one series, but you both played adversaries in one series.
Oh, adversaries. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed I guess the longevity of this season or of this series. So you asked, first question was, would I do another long series like this? Absolutely. I think it's very rare for a show to. It's obviously very rare for a show to go this long. So if I was fortunate enough to somehow land another great character on a great series, I would be very happy.
But you can you imagine doing it again with Jared?
Again with Jared?
Mm-hmm.
God, I hope not. I mean, you know what? Yes, but he'd have to cut his hair. It would be in my contract that I get to shave his head every month. Yeah, that's. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's another thing too that has been that's something that I've really enjoyed is working with somebody that's so that you have so much chemistry with. You know, like I think that was the integral part of the show from the get-go, was these two brothers had to have chemistry. You know, there had to be something that people could relate to, and I think we found that very early on, and I think that was one of the reasons why the show did as well as it did. Eric Kripke told us the second episode, he sat both of us down. He said, "Listen, you know, we can write shows about all different kinds of creatures and monsters and demons and ghosts and this and that, but when it boils down to it, the show is about two brothers, and it's about their struggle through the world of supernatural, and that's gotta sell. The relationship between the two brothers has to sell, and so to be able to have another actor that I work with so easily has been a great gift, and I would absolutely do it again, because it's a rare thing, I think, in this business to
It is very rare.
to have. So
It would be shame to lose it.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Hey.
Congratulations for your song Angels. It's very beautiful. And I wanted to know, are you working now for a new song with Steve, maybe Jensen?
Am I working on any music or any songs?
Yes, new song.
No.
No.
I leave that to Jason and Steve. That's what they do. I just like to play with them and, you know, try to make some background noise. Yeah, no, I'm not a musician. I don't pretend that I am. I just like guitars and I like music. So, yeah.
And would you sing a bit of your song for us?
Absolutely not. With no guitar, no backup singers, and no auto-tuning, no way. No, I will leave that to Jason and Steve. You guys, you know, and I hope you enjoyed last night. Steve's is tonight, and it's, you know, those are the real musicians. Those guys are awesome. So, thank you, though. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. So this is something really small, and it might be nothing at all, but I was interested. One of my favourite episodes this season was the Nazi episode. I thought that was great. But there was one moment when Aaron is flirting with Dean, and Dean does this thing with his FBI badge where he's like folding it and the camera zooms in, and it felt really significant to me. So I wondered if that was a scripted thing, like a sneaky something by Ben Edlund, or if it was an action choice. If you even remember.
The wallet thing. I remember I flipped a badge and.
Yeah, that's the bit.
But it was my idea to lay it down and to slide it over, because I thought it was, you know, like Dean was being kind of cheeky. And he's like, "Hey pal, you know, why are you following me?" And then when he does the flirting thing, it was a pullback, like, "Oh, stepped into that trap." That's all it was. And Phil laughed when I did it in rehearsal, and he's like, "Yeah, do that." Phil Segrici was directing. He was like, "Hey, do that." And he might have just put a camera on it, because Phil comes from an editing background, so he shoots a lot of extra little bits and stuff so that he can play with it in the editing room when he gets done filming. so I never know what's going to make it. I just play the scene, and Adam Rose, who played Aaron, was hilarious. And the scene wasn't written to be that kind of. I mean, it was written to be awkward. Ben Edlund wrote my favorite line of that scene was "Carry on, citizen." That was. I almost couldn't say that with a straight face. I was laughing so hard. But it was, it was comedy. It was a comedic moment in the show, and fortunately, Dean gets a lot of the comedic moments of the show, and it was just, Ben was poking fun at the fact that, how can we make this very kind of manly heterosexual guy uncomfortable, or like have him back on his heels and throw him off his game a little bit. And I think that was the whole moment, was just, let's throw Dean off his game and see how he reacts. And I think it was just, you kind of walking into a situation that you think is going to happen, and then it's a total opposite situation. And Dean was just like, carry on, citizen. And the stumble, that wasn't written. I just did that. It was just comedy. That was just for fun. Yeah, but yeah, Adam and I had a really fun time with that scene. It was really funny.
It was a great scene.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello. Have you ever seen an Italian episode of Supernatural or a film in the Italian version? And what it feels to see you acting but not hearing your own voice?
No, I haven't seen a I haven't seen an Italian dubbed version. I saw a Japanese dubbed version, which was it's always interesting when you see your mouth moving and not your voice or your language coming out of it. So it's yeah, it was very interesting. But and I actually I got to meet the guy who did Dean for the Japanese television, and I'll never forget it. It was awesome. I don't remember the guy's name, but he walks in, and he's like a rock star. He's like got an entourage, and he's in like an all white suit, and he just kind of like walks up to me. He's like, "Yeah, hi, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Hi. Who is this?" That's the guy that plays Dean. Can I get a picture with him? That was funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Hi.
I was wondering if there was ever a script or a moment that you actually wished to play Sam, not Dean. If ever some part of the story caught your attention so much that you wished to play the other brother.
Did you guys get that? It's a good question. I don't know that there's one. I don't know, because Jared makes choices that are so unique to Jared. And when I read the script, because I've worked with Jared for so long, I almost feel like I hear Sam speaking the way that Jared is going to play it, just because I've never looked at Sam and tried to make choices of what I would do with it. So it's kind of hard to say, because I'm just so used to reading Sam and thinking to myself, how would Jared play this?
So you've never thought, wow, I would want Dean to do that, or Dean to...
I mean, I can tell you that there were moments during the show where I was, where Jared really, like, his performance really impressed me. I was jealous. I was like, man, he just stole the show. I would say in the episode The End, when he plays Lucifer in the white suit, I thought that was one of his best scenes ever. And I remember being in the scene, and I thought I did a pretty good job in that scene too. And then I watched the final, I watched the show, and I'm like, son of a... But I had to give it up to him. I was like, hey, buddy, you nailed it. You completely outshined me in that scene. So yeah, but he was very gracious.
Jensen, you mind if I interrupt for 1 second?
What?
I want to say Jensen said something to me a while back at the first convention I ever did. He said to me, the interesting thing about the group of people that come to these conventions, and this is really cool, it stuck with me, I've told other people, we got a group of alpha males. And it's amazing that do you remember telling this? We've got a group of alpha males and we all get along. And you know what, like, you get alpha males, they tend to butt heads. That's not true. And this is going to come out of the blue. I just want to say, no, seriously, I immediately left the stage and went, wow, Jensen made me nervous there, and I was so desperate to make him laugh, I humped his leg. I'm like, I got old Sebastian on him. I want you to know, because I think when a person does something, makes maybe a mistake in public, you should also apologize in public. You know I have huge respect for you.
You don't need to. Are you kidding me? I loved it. In fact, as soon as you left the stage, I was like, you just caught a little insight of what it's like on set.
Okay. No, but honestly, because I wouldn't want the last second on stage for you to go, what the fuck is he doing to my leg?
Oh, I knew what you were doing to my leg. And I kind of like it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for letting me take a minute. I blame Sebastian.
That generally works here, just so you know. He can take the blame for just about anything. Hey, love you, man. No worries. Where were we? Hi. Thank you very much. That's very sweet.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Hi.
Before I ask my question, could you just give a quick hi to my three friends down there from Ireland?
No. Sorry. All right. Hi. Where are you? Somebody. There you are. How you doing? Good. Where are you from?
Ireland.
Ireland. They said Arlington. I was like, hey, that's right. I grew up right near there. Hi.
So my question is, do you think Sam is a bit jealous of Dean and Benny's relationship on the show?
I don't think he's jealous. I think he is. I think he holds contempt for it. I think that, or contempt for it. I think that he feels that Dean is being a hypocrite. And it makes him angry. And it makes him angry that Dean may have chosen Benny in certain situations, over Sam or instead of Sam. And I think that it's more anger than jealousy. Yeah, I don't think Sam would ever be, and I don't think Dean would ever be jealous of a relationship. I think it would be more, either protective. I think that if there was a relationship that was happening that wasn't that Sam or Dean didn't agree with, then it would be anger. It would be like, I don't trust this person. I don't know why you do, but it's making me angry that I have to have this conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's jealousy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi. You're a director now. We can say that.
What's that?
A director.
A director, yes.
Yeah. And if you could direct anyone, alive or dead, who would you choose?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm sure I probably should say like some big actor's name, but I think that would just terrify me. And it would be somebody that was very talented, but also very eager and very green, like not a lot of experience, because I think that makes for the best for a director who's as inexperienced as I am. I've only done 3 episodes. Having an actor that is willing to take direction is the best kind of actor I think a director can have. You know, I was very happy with when the episode "Girl Next Door" with the kids that I got to direct, because with a lot of times with children or with young adults, they're so eager just to do good, and if they have talent, then it's really just kind of pushing them in the right direction and saying the right thing to them to get the performance out. And to me, that was very exciting. That really excited me. I think with like a big, talk about like a Daniel Day-Lewis or a Robert De Niro or something, they don't need directing. They're going to come out, they're going to come in and they're going to do what, not to mention, what am I going to say to them? Nice job, Bob. Maybe just one more? Or if you're good, then I think you're good? So we should just move on. Okay, we're moving on, people. Yeah, that's probably how that would go. So yeah, I would say just somebody young and willing to take direction would be the best kind of actor I would want. Yeah, thanks. Hi.
Hi, Jensen. I'm happy to be here, especially in Italy, and with all the actors. Amazing. Great job.
We're all crazy, you know that, right? Which is why you like us.
So I was wondering if you like Jensen. I know it's not Dean, which is but I want to know if you like this actor and if you like his how he make his the cinema movie. Sorry.
James Dean?
Yes.
Do I like James Dean and like his characters?
And the movies of 15.
I honestly I'm not a big James Dean fan. I don't, this is my personal opinion. I just never got it. I was like, yeah, he's a pretty boy.
Yes,
but his acting, I was like, eh. I don't know, does anybody agree with me? Or, I mean, he was a really good-looking kid, but I think, and it's tragic what happened to him, and, but I think that, if I was going to talk about somebody who was, that something like that tragic happened, that had a really, really big career ahead of him, and that was really talented, it would be like River Phoenix.
Yes.
So you agree, or?
Yes.
I think he was an immense talent, and that was a big loss for the film community. Was River Phoenix.
You didn't inspire of Jensen, I think.
Was I inspired by?
As an actor, yes.
Has an actor inspired me? Sure, absolutely. There's, actors, movies, television, music. I get inspired by the things that you guys get inspired by. That's why art is a beautiful thing in all forms.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hello. Have you learned from Dean to pick a lock, or is it just moving it?
Picking a lock is actually very difficult, even with a lock-pick set. I don't know if you know that. I've tried to do it. I've done it, but I am not nearly as good as Dean is portrayed to be. Yeah, we never actually pick the lock. In fact, we do the old bait and switch a lot of times. Like the camera will start on the deadbolt from the inside of the door, and then you see the door open, and it's me putting the lockpick set away. I actually had the key. I turn it. That's just the magic of movie making. Or a lot of times, if it's Jared and I come, or Sam and Dean coming through the door, Jared will turn it and then put the key in his pocket, and then I will just pretend like it's acting. It's what we do. It's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, but man, if they were, I don't know that there's anybody that can pick a lock as fast as those two. Yeah, it's crazy. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I'm nervous, sorry.
Me too.
Maybe I'm boring, but I just want say I love the relationship with the old cast, Sam and Dean, because I have just the same relationship with my friend, with my brother, and I love you so much.
Thank you.
Now I want to ask you if there is the possibility, maybe there is another film of My Bloody Valentine, the second.
There is not. We're not hiding it anywhere. They have not, the powers that make those decisions have not asked me to do one. I don't think that they're making one. I think that they left it open and available to do it, but so far that they haven't put one in the works yet. So as of right now, no, but who knows?
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Hi there.
Hi. I'll be back in Vancouver over the summer. And
So will I. Right around July, I have to go back.
I've been challenged to climb the grouse grind. And I know that Jared's done it before. And in lieu of him being here and giving me advice, have you climbed it? And what advice would you give me to get through it?
Who doesn't know what the grouse? I'm sure nobody knows what the grouse grind is. Anybody? Anybody know what the grouse grind is? No? Okay. Grouse Mountain is one of the local mountains in Vancouver that you can see from downtown. There's 3 peaks. There's Cypress, Grouse, and Seymour, and they're all ski resorts. You can go up there and ski. So you can be having lunch in downtown Vancouver and then be skiing 20 minutes later. But in the summertime, they open up the middle mountain, which is Grouse, to it's basically switchback stairs to go all the way up the mountain, which is just over a mile straight up, and people do it as an exercise. And I've done it once. That's all I needed. It's essentially doing like natural stairs straight up for an hour. And I think it took me just under an hour to do it.
Were you faster than Jared?
I think, Jared's done it several times, and I think he's very self-competitive, so he likes to get his time now. I don't know how fast has he done? Like 45 minutes maybe? Cliff's like, faster than you. Yeah, thanks, I knew that. You jerk. 44 minutes? Yeah, see, he's like, I did it in 44.27 seconds. Whereas me, I'm like, I don't know, somewhere around an hour, I think. When I came to, and the paramedics revived me, I think yeah, I will say that when there's markers, there's like, it's like, you've gone half a kilometer, or you've gone, quarter kilometer, or something like that. It's like you've got to be kidding me. Like, I've only gone a half a kilometer, and I feel like I've been doing this my whole life. So I will say, watch your step, because you can slip very easy, and get out of the way of the people that are running it, because they will mow you down, and it'll probably be Jared. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. I'd like to know which character you like to play, maybe from a book you read when you were a child.
What character I would like to play? A book when I was a child.
Or an old movie that's made a remake.
Or an old movie. I don't know. I mean, I think one of my favorite movies and characters of all time was Cool Hand Luke. You guys know that movie? Paul Newman. I'd love to remake that if they ever did. Although that might be an injustice to Paul Newman. I don't know. That's the problem. Old movies, I'm like, they're old and they need to stay there. And that's But Man, I can't wait to see Gatsby. That looks
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio, damn you. Lucky on Supernatural. That would have been a fun role to do. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi, Jensen. So, in real life, did ever happen to you to stay in a room and suddenly the temperatures become colder, you see your breath, and start turning off and on?
I know where you're going with this. In real life?
Yes, have you ever been scared like that?
I think there's only one time that I can remember that, you know, the hairs stand up on the back of the neck and it's like, there's something behind me. This was probably back in like 2000, 2001. I was in my home in Los Angeles. I had a couple of roommates at the time, but nobody was home. They were off at work, and I was home by myself. And it was kind of a big house, and it was very open. That's what I remember. It wasn't a big house, but it was just a very open house. So it was like from the kitchen was open to the dining room, was open to the living room, was open to the big stairwell, you know. So I was at the kitchen. I was like washing my hands or something, and I turned the water off, and I swore I heard the front door close, which was no big deal. I was like, oh, well, one of my roommates are home. I turned around, and there was nobody there. I walked over to the front door, opened it, nobody, closed it, like, okay, whatever. And then I went back to the kitchen, and I think I opened the fridge, and I closed the fridge, and I just stopped, and it was like, chills came over me. And I'm like, there's something behind me right now. And I turned around. This was before Supernatural, because otherwise I would have been like, bring it. I got salt. Let's do this. I can dance all day. They don't want to mess with me now. But yeah, there was nothing ever happened. You know, that I just turned around and it was that kind of overwhelming feeling that there was something just passed by, or I don't know what it was. And it was the only time it ever happened, but obviously it left an impression on me. But that was the last and only time I could think of that something like that happened. So yeah, I wish I had Dean Winchester around.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi. I would love to know if you could meet your 80 years old self. What would you like him to say?
A lot. I would probably have a lot of questions for him, and I would hope that he would have a lot of really good advice for me. And yeah, who wouldn't like to run into your 80-year-old self? Be like, so how's it gonna go? How did we do? You know, hopefully he's very happy and healthy. You know, I think those are the two things I would wish the most. And I would probably ask him, I'm like, all right, so, you know, I know I did something wrong along the way. What can you steer me away from that? What happened? What did I do wrong? Because we all make mistakes. Yeah, I don't know. That would be really interesting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I was wondering, because in your first question you were telling us about Garth trying to fit into Bobby's shoes. And I was wondering if Sam and Dean ever allowed him into Men of Letters.
I don't think we have. I think we would. You know, I think that's. I mean, absolutely. I'm sure that Garth knows about Men of Letters and knows that, you know, this is where we are, but yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with Garth is we don't get to see him because DJ's a very busy guy, and I mean, we love having him on the show, and he's a great guy, but because he's not present, we have to just allude to the fact that, you know, Garth is out there helping out people doing something, and we talk to him on the phone every now and again, and it's a one-sided conversation. but yeah, I assume that, you know, if DJ does come back to the show and we can utilize Garth, yeah, I mean, I think that we would, hey, let me show you this bed. It remembers me. Yeah, Dean would probably want to show Garth his bedroom and be like, right? It's all mine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
I speak for her. Okay. She like to know if you like to keep on directing, because she saw you directed some episode of Supernatural, and she like to know if you like to go on with this career after Supernatural, of course.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. It's a killer challenge for me, and I would be very nervous about going on to another show and trying to direct a crew and a cast that I'm not familiar with. I have way more respect for directors that have come in and had to direct us that don't know us. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. But I would appreciate the challenge, and I would hope that I could go on and continue doing it, because it's something I really enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. What was your inspiration for playing Dean Chester?
My inspiration for playing him? You know, at first, Eric Kripke told me that, you know, that he kind of loosely based these two characters off of like a Luke Skywalker, Han Solo kind of. You've heard that before, right? Yeah. So when he told me that, you know, I was like, okay, Harrison Ford, hey. I'm a big fan of his. I'm a big fan of, you know, Indiana Jones and the Star Wars movies, and so I don't, you know, I don't know that he was my inspiration, but I will say that was that gave me kind of an idea of how this character was, you know, was gonna get played out, and you know, I used a lot of my initial instincts on how to play him, and I think that's. I mean, they gave me the job, so I just kind of stuck with that because I figured that was what they wanted, and you can kind of get an idea of what the character is, how the character is supposed to be played through the writing, and Eric did a wonderful job at kind of at creating these characters through his writing, and it helped us kind of grow the characters and you know, peel the layers off and really kind of mature with these characters. So, you know, the inspiration came from the writing, really, to be honest. But it was nice to have, like, you know, a character like Han Solo to fall back on if I needed to.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Hi.
Hey, Jensen. We know that.
Sorry, they're just saying last question, so yes, go ahead.
We know that Mitch is going to be directing in season 9, and I think last he spoke about it, he didn't know when or what he'd be directing. From your experience, how much notice do you get about what episode you may be directing, whether it's kind of in the myth arc or a standalone, how much your character is in it or not?
Not much, to be honest. I mean, with me, they did me a huge favor and have done me a huge favor by moving the episode that I directed first up in the lineup so that I would direct it first. So basically they had, like, you know, the first 3, 4, maybe 5 scripts written by the time we started shooting a season. They have ideas of where the story is going, but they're kind of broad strokes. And then they continually pitch ideas for new scripts, and that's, you know, that's when you get the writer's room, and that's what they do, and that's a world that I have not, you know, dove into, nor do I think I want to. But I guess the simple answer to the question is the directors don't know. They get a script and it's like, oh, this is a big mythology script, or oh, this is one of the comedy scripts. So you don't really know. Basically what happens is there's a list of, you know, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 23, and then they just start they negotiate with the director's agents and say, okay, when is he available to do, we need him for 3 episodes. When is he available? Well, he's available in December, he's available in October, and in January. Okay, well then he can do, episodes 8 and 13 and 20. They have no idea what those episodes are going to be though. So they find out when the writers release the script, and it's just a guess.
But for you, they would know when you're available because you're obviously in the show. So do they try to make it an episode where Dean's maybe not in it?
I think, well, yeah, they would try, and I think especially this year, if they do give me an episode, because I'm not going to do the first one like I normally do. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they give me one sometime during the season. I won't know, but I think that the writers will probably try to make an effort to probably not give me or Misha a really, really big, heavy episode. They like to leave those to the veterans, and I'm glad that they do because they're really difficult.
And do you plan to give him a lot of shit when he directs?
Hell yes. Oh yeah, he is gonna hear it. Everybody, thank you so much. I will see you all later.